really do. You're a 21-year-old punk fucking kid. Grandpa's given you everything all your fucking life. You've never had a car payment, a house payment. Everything you live in was given to you by Grandpa. You fucking don't know what it's like to work for a fucking living like I do, to bust my fucking ass and do what I do. And you know what, Sean? You fucked me, and that's the way you got it. But you know what? Your grandpa's money will run out someday, and you'll have to feast for yourself. Get a fucking job, you piece of shit.
Welcome to Behind the Smoke Podcast, Barbecue War Stories. I am Sean Walchef from Cali Comfort Barbecue. We are recording live in Spring Valley above the butcher shop with my man Derek Marceau, Valley Farm Market. What's going on, my man?
Not much. Just trying to stay cool from this fucking heat wave.
Yeah, San Diego's definitely not supposed to
Two
be this
compressors
hot.
went out yesterday. It was really fucking exciting.
It is not cool.
Joey was excited to come and...
Joey's business must be booming.
Oh, my God.
To be in the AC business right now, it's
it's
good.
HVAC is going good right now.
103 degrees?
It was 114 in Hamul for a little
114?
bit. That was 2 days ago. But yeah, no, we got the compressors fixed. He actually just worked his magic pretty quick and they came back on. But I was happy, man. I didn't have to fucking pull the whole case. And, you know, that can be a fucking nightmare. Just having to take everything out and put it back in. That's a 4 to 5 hour reset. So, but yeah, no, it's supposed to start cooling down again just in time for our event.
That's right. It's coming up. Spring Valley Tailgate and Barbecue Festival. It's Sunday, November 5th. We have a bunch of teams that have signed up that are fired up to compete. It's going to be a great day of barbecue.
Yeah, we got some good sponsors. Next Gen.
Yeah, they stepped up.
Josh Keeber, he's doing good. And then my mom.
Your mother.
And stepdad.
I like that.
Crystal Clean Car Wash. They sponsored and they're doing their thing. And they're in the middle of kind of a little renovation. They're going to get a new logo and really start doing new things with their car washes. So I'm excited for them. If you're in San Diego, go take a look at them. Crystal Clean Car Wash. I think they have 5 locations now, 4 or 5 locations. So yeah, but
we got Gary and Kelly Bleakley stepping up. Northwestern Mutual.
Yeah,
they've this is the second year they've been helping us out, put this event on.
Killed it, and then Big Green Egg,
and hot sauces and more. Solid.
Yeah, Brian just actually called me right now. I couldn't take his call, but sorry, Brian, I'll call you back right when we're done with this podcast. We're almost...
Well, we can't thank our listeners enough for tuning into the podcast. It's been quite a journey the last couple months, and we've been getting some awesome feedback on our social pages, Barbecue War Stories on our Instagram and on our Twitter. People have reached out on LinkedIn. A couple of shout-outs we want to give is on Twitter, at Clint Nelson 1980. This man is in Tucson. He wants to build his barbecue business. He reached out, sent us some photos of his ribs and his tri-tip that he's cooking. And, you know, we just want to encourage his journey and keep sharing, man. Keep sharing. It's really, really cool for us to see, other people that are excited to open up a business, or doesn't matter what you're doing. We love to hear from you.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see things like that. And what we always let everyone know, I mean, just keep going, just keep figuring it out. And especially with barbecue, it's just such a feel. And, you know, you have to be able to just kind of figure that out. There's no certain recipe. You have to be able to just feel it out, know what you're doing. And now, I mean, and
ask for help. I mean, that's what we're here for. You know, it doesn't matter what your question is. There's no stupid questions. We've fucked up plenty of times. We just don't want you to do the same thing. The other person was, on Instagram at 97 Spencer, Travis in Indiana. He sent us a message, said he loves the podcast. We appreciate you listening in Indiana.
Shout out to Indiana.
Him and his coworkers are gonna get a smoker built this winter, and then they're gonna start participating in some festivals, start selling some Q out in Indiana.
That's awesome. I mean, I have a big place in my heart for Indiana. My wife's from Indiana, Fort Wayne, so shout out to the funky town. And then my family, my in-laws and everyone are still out there. And I know Rodney England, my brother-in-law, he listens. So shout out to Rodney. If you're in Fort Wayne, look him up because he'll definitely drink a beer with you.
Yeah. There you go. A couple Boilermakers.
Dude, yeah. No, my wife's a Boilermaker for sure.
There you go. Yeah, I like that. Well, thank you guys for reaching out. Don't be shy. Hit us up on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. On LinkedIn, we're here to help. So thank you for sharing your journey. The other things that we did want to say is there's two So we don't have a sponsor for this podcast. Derek and I intentionally do that. We want to make sure that this is as authentic as possible. So there's no bullshit, no agenda. We do have sponsors for our barbecue charity events, which if we didn't have those sponsors, we couldn't put on those events. So we sincerely appreciate that. But there are two things that if you are opening up a business, two sites that I've used, and I know Derek is a fan of as well, and that's National Barbecue Association. It's $50 annually. They have incredible resources. They put out newsletters, a bunch of great information to help you get your barbecue business off the ground. So check that out. And the other one's restaurantowner.com. I've been using that since we opened Cali Comfort. And Eric, my GM and partner over there, we use it for checklists. We use it for templates. We use it for training. Fuck, you name it, they have it. And,
and again, guys, this is not, we have no sponsors, so
Yeah.
us saying this is just straight transparency.
Well, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And the more that we continue to learn, the more that we can prevent ourselves from wasting money, buying stupid equipment that we shouldn't be buying, or spending money on insurance that is not needed when you should be purchasing different kinds of insurance when somebody slips and falls in your restaurant.
I just got done with workman's comp 2 days ago. It's fucking exciting. I'm actually, my net rate went down.
Really?
Like $4. My mod rate was so fucking high. I had so many claims, and like 4 years ago.
Really?
And they're just falling off now. So my mod rate just started going down, and it's exciting. I mean, it's always exciting to save about 20 to 30 grand a year, you know? On your workman's comp.
So today's a special day for us.
It's beautiful, man. It's, out here in San Diego, we're very, very fortunate to have, I would imagine, the best Mexican food in the world.
Yeah.
And, place that I've gone to forever is Albert's Taco Shop. And we would like to welcome Albert Garzon. Thanks for coming, bud.
Thanks for having me, bud.
What's happening?
Appreciate it. Not much. Thanks again.
It's fucking great to have another fellow restaurant owner out here. You have 3 units, 3 stores, which is very, very
3 or
admirable.
4.
5?
We have 3 in East County, and
even
then
more.
one downtown.
Another
We can't forget downtown.
Another headache. There you go. Well, that's congratulations, man. That's that's the thing on Restaurant Owner. All those articles. It's always, once you open up your first restaurant, all you think about is opening up your second restaurant. And for what we talk about on this podcast is it's got to be the right location. It's got to be at the right time, and you can't force it. So we'd love to hear about how you got in the business, why fresh Mexican food. Just tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, we'll do. Well, I've been a plastering contractor since the late 80s. And then back in 2002, I had a gentleman basically tell me, hey, what are you going to do after construction? I said, damn, dude, I'm not that old. I think so. But he goes, no, what I meant was, we were in a construction boom at the time. And, he was a good friend of mine, Joe Bartacci, a little shout out to him out there in Coronado. And basically told me, what are you going to do when this whole thing, takes a dive? And I go, dude, Joe, you're busting my balls right now.
This isn't the conversation I want to have.
I'm living the dream. So, I'm just trying to take one day at a time with construction. He's like, well, let's just talk about it. Construction boom was going on back then. He goes, what are you going to do when it slows down? Let's think about it realistically. He goes, how much more years you got in the books? And I go, probably 2. He was like, okay. Well, and I know 2 years are going to go by like that. Right. So I said, I got home and I woke up in the middle of the night thinking about Joe. And I'm thinking,
it's those people with what they say in the middle of the night, they're in your head.
Yeah, and he's been around the book. He's probably 30 years older than me. Sorry, Joe, if you look it. So, anyways, I went home thinking, what would I do? Before, during construction when it first started off, I didn't know too much about the business and a lot of loss of money and I just didn't want to be in that predicament of having no money.
Sure.
So, I figured it was a good time to try to start something different. I was making money in the construction. I figured find something that is not construction based that people need to do every day. Well, between all the fellas, every night on Friday nights, what do we all do? We all buzzed up, go get Mexican food afterwards.
Absolutely.
So, one of the conversations that were always brought up was, I'd love to do, is open up a Mexican restaurant. And then I would pick apart all these restaurants that we ate at. And
I do the same shit.
Same thing. What if I was mine? I'd have better meat in my carne asada.
Right.
When you're buzzed up, everything tastes good.
Right.
So you go back the next morning, it is, and you go back to try the same thing and it tastes like shit.
Right.
You're like, God damn, So I started just writing down things about things. If I were to ever have my own taco shop, I would do this, and that. Well, the next day I had this cleaning girl that would come clean my house. I was single back then, and she cleaned my house, and I just happened to mention it to her. Hey, Maria, I want to open up a taco shop. She goes, you gotta be kidding me. She goes, my husband is a manager at a taco shop in El Cajon. I said, why don't you guys come over for dinner one night, and I want to talk. I mean, literally, dude, everything opened up like it was meant to happen.
It's fucking crazy.
So it was like really no hiccups.
Yeah.
Steven opened the first one up.
Like, is this meant to be? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it was all happened like in a week.
Yeah.
So it went. Jose came over, really nice kid, and I said, Jose, I want to open up a taco shop. Nothing big, just something super small, and just want to try it out. Worst case scenario, it doesn't do good. Best case scenario is that I at least tried it. Right. The experience and, trying something different. If it didn't work, I'd close out business and try something else. So sure enough, they came over, we went to dinner, and he was in that position where he really wanted to leave where he was at. And I was willing to try to open up a taco shop. So the next morning, it was Saturday, I went to get my truck washed down to my buddy's shop, Romeo's car wash down there in Castillero.
Yep.
Nice.
And I said, Romeo, I want to open up a taco shop. And those guys have all these cousins that have shopping centers. Right. So he goes, funny you said this. I go, I was playing poker last night with my cousin, and they were telling me how they want to get rid of this guy that owns a taco shop because he's not paying his rent.
Wow.
I said, where's it at? He goes, it's right there on the corner of Washington and Magnolia. Really small shop. And I said, perfect. I go, how big? He goes, I don't know. Just go by and take a look at it. So literally, I left and got my truck washed, drove straight there around lunchtime, and walked in, and it was dead. I figured lunchtime, dead taco shop.
Packed.
Should be packed. At least have 4 or 5 people. It was small. It was only, literally, guys, it was 10 feet wide, 40 feet deep. And to me, I'm saying perfect size.
And typical taco shops are quick service.
Of
so
course.
People come, they order up at the counter. It's not,
Right.
actually somebody coming to your table.
Right. So, I walked in, didn't see anybody in there. I had a carne asada burrito, ate about half of it. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I went next door to the smoke shop. I'm saying smoke shops got to know where the good taco shops are at,
What year is this?
This is back in 2003.
2003. This is 2003 before marijuana is legalized.
So this is actually, it was actually late 2002. It was like in October.
They were ahead of the curve.
Exactly. So I went over next door to talk to Steve, who owned the shop then, and I said, hey, how's the food next door? He goes, shitty, dude. You want to go to a taco shop? Go right down the street. And so then from then I walked back to the taco shop and I said, hey, are you guys interested in selling this place? He goes, it's funny that you're asking me this.
No way.
I was going to go put it in the Latino, which is a Mexican magazine, and he was going to put it up for sale.
Wow.
So literally, the guy had a little 2x2 window, you poked your head in it, and we're having this conversation. He goes, I'm thinking about buying it. How much do you want for it? He's like, well, I want 15 grand for it. I'm like, really? I go, what if I gave you 12 and I don't want any of the merchandise in it because I'm going to gut the place?
Right.
So before I got any further, I go, let me go talk to your landlord. So I called Romeo up and I'm like, dude, I'm thinking about buying a taco shop. He's like, dude, all this was
what the fuck happened?
This just happened.
All within 6 hours. And what's it going to do? I really know nothing about the taco shop. I just knew what the difference between a good taco shop was and a bad one.
Sure.
Right.
Just in taste wise. So sure enough, I went and talked to the landlord who owned the market next door. And he goes, take it over, dude. Take it over, and I'll sign a whole new lease with you, and we'll see where it goes.
Rad.
So I went back to the guy, and the guy goes, hey, let me call my wife, and I'll call you back here in a couple hours. Well, sure enough, he says...
Which location is this?
This is the first one no longer exists.
Okay, perfect.
But, he basically called me back and said, hey,
how long was your lease?
It was horrible. It was a 3-year lease.
It was a 3-year lease.
With no options.
Okay.
So, and that's a whole other story. But
well, I mean, those are the important things that people get fucked over. I mean, we've had podcast guests on that, they opened at the wrong location. And
the wrong location. And we all know
they didn't work those things out.
100%. We all know that the lease is the heart of the business.
Sure.
Yeah.
Without a lease.
Oh, you'll get eaten alive.
You're going to get eaten alive and you're at the mercy of your landlord.
Totally.
So then, like I said, the wife calls him back and says, sell it. We're done. We're in debt. We owe the guys money. We owe our suppliers money. Let's just get out of this thing. Mm-hmm. So later the guy goes, okay, let's do it. I call my buddy Romeo. I go, Romeo, you're a business guy. I'm a contractor. What should I do? He goes, open up an escrow. Don't just give the guy money because if he owes back taxes, you're going to be stuck with it.
Right.
So sure enough, I even paid for the escrow. It was like $800.
Sure.
And sure enough, he owed a little bit of money. And it all
But the
went
escrow
well.
process allowed you to vet all those liabilities.
They checked everything.
Yeah.
They checked everything, make
So
sure
that
the
you didn't
franchise-
assume all that
assume all the
liability is something that this
Correct,
fucking
correct.
guy did. Yep.
So when people try to think about opening their own business, it isn't just go pay the lease, and there's a lot of things you got to get ready for to even open the doors.
Sure.
So we signed a simple lease. I wasn't the
So
smartest
then,
lease. It
did
was
you have a company?
Yeah, well, I had once again I had no attorney. It was between the owner and I, a basic lease, a 3
So you
year.
were sole proprietor until
Correct.
once you
years.
opened up the doors. Yeah.
Right, 3 years, no options behind it. So basically, after
Your
3
name
years,
on the lease.
my name on the
Yep.
lease. So then, taco shop was mine. So now I've got this. I've got this empty taco shop, scratching my head, going, dude. And there was a
Were
picture.
you still working?
Yeah, I still own my company.
Yeah. Fuck.
So now I'm going, dude. Now I've got this taco shop that I consumed, what I assumed within like 2 weeks, and my buddy Romeo thinks I'm freaking nuts. So I call this kid. So now the only employee I got is this kid Jose.
Right.
So I'm going, Jose, you won't believe it, but I got that taco shop. He goes, what? I go, are you gonna quit? And he's like, dude, you're mine. So
Yeah.
sure enough, between him and I, we went down there and we stripped it. And so then, proceed forward. We started getting employees right away. It was pretty easy to get some good cooks. And then my only one employee other than that was my mom. So she came, like I said, between her and I,
Family,
we couldn't
there
even
you
figure
go.
to turn on this cash register on.
Yeah, fuck.
But the great thing about opening the small taco shop, which I recommend to anybody, is if you don't know the business, don't overwhelm yourself by buying something too big.
Yeah.
Sure.
Grow into the shoes.
Yeah.
Grow into the business.
And that's a great piece of advice too, because too many people get this POS system that's just so interesting. I mean, you have to know from the ground floor every single little thing, and then
Right.
to do it simplistically allows you to do that. It allows you to grow at the pace you want to grow.
Right.
At.
And that's the
exactly.
great thing about like events where, there's an amateur barbecue contest. That's why we encourage people to get involved and go out and go to a farmer's market, go and try to sell something.
Get
but
into
don't
something.
fucking get all crazy
No,
about
and go
it. Yeah.
crazy
Start
because it can
small.
really break you.
Yeah.
And luckily I started off with a 400 square foot taco shop, so I might have invested another $12,000-$15,000 to get it the way I want it.
Sure.
Okay, so let's say at the end of the day I've got 30 grand into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I figured let's do it for the fun. Let's hire some. Now I had all these ideas. Let's implicate them into the restaurant. Let's change the name of all these burritos and use our local towns. Like we have burritos called the Cajon burrito for El Cajon.
Yeah.
The Valley for Spring Valley.
Right.
The La Mesa burrito.
That's
the
part
Santee
of the
burrito.
neighborhood branding that
Exactly.
you've done.
And then at all of our current locations, like we have a burrito that's all the same one, but at the Rancho San Diego is called the Norseman.
Norseman, yeah,
At
absolutely.
that same burrito at Lakeside is called the El Cap.
Gotcha.
That same burrito at La Mesa is called the Highlander. And then downtown we named it the Padres.
Cool.
So, because we're so close to the ballpark.
Yeah.
So we try to use all these different burritos to kind of make sense with
No,
the
it's
town.
cool.
Well, you
It's
want people to be
neighborhood.
vested, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then recently we came up with the new granite taters because granite got a little upset with me because they were on me. So now Christian's giving me shit, and I gotta. Sorry,
That's a good problem.
I'm not
Those
sure
are
if I
good
should
problems
use
to
that
have.
word with Christian, but
No, no. It's,
But I did. But
it's
anyway,
Christian's local high school.
it is. They're
Yeah.
a great high. And like I said, I gotta thank to all the local communities. They've helped me out so much in so many different ways, and everyone's been awesome.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, Derek and I, we talk about all the time. I mean, we're going to be on 10 years in April. And if
Wow.
it wasn't for the neighborhood, if it wasn't for, all the schools, the local high schools, the local elementary schools, I mean, the community, if they don't support, if you don't embrace your community, if you don't dig in and put your roots down
Right.
and start caring about the street outside of your restaurant
Right.
and everything that's going on, this community's not going to give a shit about you.
Exactly. And that's what we do. We give back so much with our sponsorships and teams.
Have
and,
to.
and gift
We
cards.
saw that right when we walked in.
and
I
gift
knew
cards.
how you roll.
And those are just half the plaques.
Yeah, exactly.
We can only put so many before it gets too much. But,
Right.
we want, and plus when we hang a plaque, we have a lot of teams that come in and go, oh, we're on the board at Albert's. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool. And,
No, it's cool,
Yeah,
for
it's kind
sure.
of cool. And it does make us feel good. You remember, whatever you're helping out the team, that's helping the parents, helps out the team by uniforms or help by uniforms and whatever expenses they do.
Sure.
I love to do it. And you got to do it.
Right.
So, after that 3 years of owning the Alberts on Magnolia in Washington, the lease expired. Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, I was comfortable with the one, and then that's when my landlord came up to me and basically said, hey, we want to open up our own taco shop now. And I'm just like, what? I go, dude, we're buddies.
Yeah.
Right.
What are you talking about? Now you want to basically take my business from me?
That was because you didn't have an option.
I didn't have an option. So, and they did. They saw how well I was doing in 3 years, where the guy that was selling nothing,
Yep.
now he sees the line out the door, and these guys are, peeking their head out going, dude, what's this kid doing?
Right.
And they said, we can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, they tried it and it didn't do very well.
Right.
But needless to say, it was a learning experience, and thank gosh, it was a small location. Thank God it wasn't one of my bigger ones that we have now.
That you put in a lot of money into, or
and
So
time
which was
and
the
effort.
second location?
So then the second one we opened in 2007, which was our Lakeside location.
And that was how much time after the first one closed?
Well, dude, literally, my landlord from the first store gave me for about 6 months to move out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that 6 months, I found the Lakeside location. My buddy Wes, actually found it on Craigslist. And once again, it was this easy. I mean, like I said, all these doors just kept flapping open. He goes, "Hey, dude, I found you a taco shop in Lakeside." So, I go down like a little kid, peek my head through the window, and my wife and I are, fogging up the window. And we're like going, "Dude, this is perfect. It's bigger, 3 times bigger."
Right.
I go, "Let's do it." And sure enough, I didn't want to lose my employees. I already had traded so much time.
Well, you become vested in them, man. It's
do.
hard. It's hard, and
You
you
do.
know them, and you know what they do, and they
Right.
count on you. They count
Of
on you.
course.
That's actually what makes me work even harder. It's like I have to make sure that they're taken care of.
Of course.
And I don't know if it's
Of
just
course.
the fucking Papa Bear mentality, but it's like
No, it's their family.
Yeah, I
their
have to take
family.
care of
And
them.
I always say that if once you come into my house, which is my restaurant, I take care of you like family.
Right.
Whatever you need, your problems become my problems. Let's do this together.
That's what hospitality is.
And we
I mean,
create a business together, not just for me, it's for all of us.
The restaurants that get it, right when you walk in, how that ownership structure works, because people have to care. And once they don't care when they walk into a place, you're not going to have, it doesn't matter how fucking good the food is.
Exactly.
You're like, fuck that.
Yeah, I'm going somewhere else.
Like you're treating my wife like shit. You can't even say hello. Like you don't care that my kid's in a stroller. Like,
help me out.
Start to care.
Care, exactly.
Care about the little things.
I always say 3 things make a restaurant. 1, great customer service. 2, have the place clean.
Yeah.
And the last thing, which is very important too, and these are all 3 very important things, good food.
Yeah.
If you got these 3 things, and now with Yelp and finding locations, it part of it is location, but some of it is just where, if you're that good and you're that clean and you got that kind of a customer service, it's usually going to work out pretty good.
We talk about it, a lot of this podcast is dedicated to marketing and digital marketing specifically. And if it wasn't for Facebook, and if it wasn't for Instagram and Twitter and all these Yelp and all these platforms, people wouldn't be able to find Cali Comfort. I mean, people,
since 2003, how much it's grown.
Oh, it's insane.
You can
it's
reach
insane.
people so much
Before
further.
it was
Just by your phone.
you had to be in a fucking Yellow Pages, like putting an ad in the fucking like
a yellow flag.
taco shop. What the fuck is that? Yeah, half the people don't have a clue.
And then you're still guessing what kind of food you're going to get. It didn't tell you how good they were, how bad they were. So there's the pros and cons of Yelp.
Right.
There's customers that have been coming to my restaurant for years, and all of a sudden they have one bad experience, and they have a keyboard in front of them, and they go sometimes go nuts. But
if you embrace Yelp as a business owner, like all you can do is do your best. You're going to put your best foot forward. You're going to put your best photos, as featured photos.
Right.
You're going to respond to the 1-star review and say, hey, we fucked up.
Right.
We're going to take accountability, and we're not perfect.
Right. Let me leave you a gift card at the shop.
Let me
give us another
chance.
And
if you don't give us another chance,
and give me your
whatever.
feedback.
Sure.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's important. We had the same thing happen last week. It was, person's like, I've never been disappointed until this one time, and I didn't get barbecue sauce in my to-go thing, and the tri-tip was lukewarm, almost cold, 1 star.
Right.
I'm like, you just said you haven't had a bad experience here yet.
Right.
You had one bad experience because we didn't give you fucking barbecue sauce.
Right.
And the tri-tip was a little cold. I get it. That's wrong.
Right.
We fucked up totally.
Right.
But 1 star.
Right, but why didn't you give me a 5-star with all the other great times you've had?
Yeah.
But you took the time when you had one bad experience. So that's my love-hate.
Yeah.
It's
always going to be
I
a
love
love-hate.
Yelp.
Yeah.
But there's days where I hate them, where they go,
Well, yeah,
so it's kind
So
of.
when you got the Lakeside, did you start to like, okay, now I want to do it a little bit different. I want to do.
How big was Lakeside?
It was 1,450, almost like
Shit.
4 times bigger.
Yeah.
So this is where, you got to have your big boy pants on. Because even though it's not a big restaurant, I'm just telling you guys, I mean, people, like I said, I'm going to open up a 4,000 square foot restaurant. I just go, for your first restaurant? Dude. I go, you're going to, and I freaked out. I mean, literally it was, so now I know nothing about owning a 1,450 square foot restaurant. And I remember the day we opened the doors, it was funnier and shit. I got my wife on the register. My wife don't know shit about the register, and me barely know how to use a restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, and then we got, we had a line out the door, which we had never seen. The sales.
How did people find out it was going to be?
We had a lot of local friends that lived in the area, and it's for me being East County.
What year was this?
This was back in 2007.
Pre Facebook craze.
Facebook, everything.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Just iPhone came out in 2007.
a lot of penny saver.
Yeah, right. Whatever. Call them. Get them fucking down here.
a lot of banners. Albert's Mexican food, home of the big roll tacos, coming soon.
Right.
And
so you had that before the big roll tacos.
Yeah, big roll tacos were actually started at the first taco shop.
And how'd that come about?
Well, it's funny. We were in the kitchen and I had my cook making the typical roll tacos. Right. And I always said one of my things was I wanted to make a roll taco with more meat in it. Right. I think we've all been into a roll taco and you pull out that string and then you always look down that flute and you're trying to take some of the meat out of your bag. You try to shove it back in there. And I knew that would happen at every place I went. Right. So I'm thinking, why not put more beef in a corn tortilla and put the same topping and just charge more? Yeah. If people want it, they want it. They don't, skip and get the small ones. Right. So I said... So Norma was making my first roll taco, who still works for me to this day. Rad. And she made it. She says, Mr. Albert, you're not going to make any money at this. I go, Norma, this is just for you and I to try right now. Right. I go, I've always wanted to do this. So I wanted to, let's say, my little bucket list to just get a bigger roll taco. So, she makes it for me. And we both looked at each other. We went, oh, my God, we got something here. Yeah. And then that day I said, you know something, Norma? Weigh that roll taco. We weighed it, and I go, that is going to be the mold to these roll tacos, and we're going to change our name to Albert's. It was Albert's Taco Shop, and we changed it to Albert's Mexican Food, home of the big roll taco.
That's rad.
And so that was the day that we made the tacos. Well, from then on, it's kind of like evolved into where it's at now.
It's for people. We have people, which is cool, really listening all over the world, and it's Mexican food is such a phenomenon. Here in San Diego, where we live, and avocados and carne asada, like these are things that growing up in San Diego, I didn't realize how much I loved Mexican food until I went to school in Colorado, and I'm in Boulder, and I'm like, and it's not that they don't have taco shops, it's just it's not the same, right? And like you don't realize that until you leave. My wife, her family, they're from Bulgaria, and they came out. They've been out twice now, and like. The first time they had, we took them right to a fucking taco shop, got them a carne asada burrito, got them, guacamole, and they were like, we're not touching that shit. We're not fucking touching that.
What is
like,
that?
Not a chance.
That cannot be good for you.
Now they've been back, and like now they just went back home, and like all they're doing is looking for fucking avocados. They're like, dude, we're craving it. We love the avocados. Of course. But like those are things that, in such a competitive market in San Diego, fuck, there has to be over 1,000, 2,000 taco shops in Mexican restaurants.
Exactly. Well, we are the Mecca. Right. Yeah. San Diego is the Mecca out of all cities or all places probably in the world. We are the Mecca.
And so there's 3 fucking taco shops just between Derek and us, and that's pretty much that's all there is.
No joke.
Yeah. So I knew what I was getting myself into. So that's why I wanted to create just a different menu, because I didn't want to be like every taco shop in every corner. We had to reinvent the wheel because every taco shop was the same. Sure. So yes, our menu's extreme, but it's also different. We have things that most taco shops don't have, even to this day. After being
quality. That was when we went yesterday. The first thing that I noticed was, fuck, this guy cares about his produce. He cares about the tortilla. Like those things, immediately. Right. Well, especially for us, like because that's where restaurant owners were trying to save money. They're going to spend less money on produce. Right. And guess what? It's going to be shitty
and the
lettuce.
The customer's going to know it.
They will know.
So it's every ingredient, from our Angus carne asada to Roma tomatoes that are more expensive than steak tomatoes.
Oh, absolutely.
To the Haas avocados. Even with this whole avocado thing that we all went through, you saw it.
Dude, we got fucking killed.
Yeah. But to me, do I use a Fuerte, where it's a watered down avocado, or do I use a Haas? It's 3 times more expensive. But if I don't spend it, I'll make it up later on. Yeah. But the things you can't have is a customer walking out going, dude, this was horrible. Yeah. What happened to Albert from last week to this week? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And all these little things, from the tomatoes to the carne asada to what type of chicken you use. And there's a lot of things that create one good thing.
You have to care about the details. Because if you don't, who is?
Exactly.
Right? You have to care about those details. Right. And I was telling these guys yesterday when we were going over there, I'm like, I'm not just saying this because Albert's a buddy of mine,
Right.
but it's so fucking fresh.
Right.
Every time I go there, it's just fucking fresh. And like I was telling you before the podcast, I mean, I'm on a quest to try to lose some weight, and it's like I was so stoked to see those lettuce wraps.
Right.
But the fucking lettuce is always so good
Crispy.
and crisp every
Right.
fucking time.
Right.
It's like I wear those things out. I want.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, I'm
No,
gonna
that,
go
I
get
mean,
them tonight.
that shit is really fucking smart
Thank
because
you.
like you're looking at something and you're doing menu development
Right.
in a category that isn't being done.
Right.
You know, that you can go to fucking, you know, a Chinese restaurant and get lettuce wraps.
Right.
But like people are looking for something like that, and
Right.
you've addressed that.
Right.
And like now you have somebody like Derek who he's going to come. Not only is he going to come, he's going to fucking tell me. He's going to tell all his buddies, and like
Right.
now you've got a place that you're helping people be healthy and get great fucking
We have an
food.
option.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most people think Mexican food. They think, God, you know, here comes in January for New Year's resolution. Screw Mexican
Yeah,
food.
no more Mexican food.
But now for us, we have an advantage that typically out of all restaurants, I mean, you can't really go to one restaurant and know around town. You know, I think I was telling you guys, you leave the gym, where do you go?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Jack in the Box, no.
Yeah.
You know, any fast food ain't gonna give you nothing healthy.
No.
Right.
With us, we have a niche with the lettuce wraps and protein burritos and protein bowls, and wheat tortillas and black beans. So you can get the refried beans,
The rancho burrito.
the rancho burrito. You
My
know,
fucking
so,
wife loves that burrito.
yeah. So you got black beans, Mexican salsa, the shredded chicken, and a wheat tortilla.
Right.
I mean, you're half the calories, half the carbs, and you got chicken breast, and so it's a healthy meat. It's a healthy
Right.
meal.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
so
that's smart. You're finding where people are lacking, and you're listening to your consumer what they
course.
want, and that's sometimes what we have to make sure that we're doing is listening to ourselves. Like, what would we do? Like you said when you first started, like, what would I do if I had a
Right.
taco shop?
Right.
And these are the things.
These are
like,
the things,
When I
right.
get done working out, what the fuck do I get to go eat?
Hey, right.
And I can go have a lettuce wrap. I can go have that protein bowl. I can
Right.
go do those things.
Right.
You're creating answer for people's questions. And
exactly.
it's great. It's
And then
great.
there's those days you want to cheat.
Yeah.
Right.
Come in and get the
Right.
we all get those
Yeah.
days. I would say Sunday, you know,
Yep.
current sour fries, a California burrito, the quesadilla. It goes on and on and on.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, we tell people all the time if you wanted a kale smoothie, you came to the wrong fucking restaurant. Cali Comfort is not. We don't do kale
we
smoothies.
don't have lettuce wraps right there.
You want a rack of ribs? We got you taken care of.
Yeah. So you had the one in Lakeside, and then you just decided to go for it.
You know something? It was just going so smooth.
When did you set up the company?
I set the company in 2003.
So that was after the first one.
Yeah, the first one. So then, and like I
Who
said,
told you to set up a company?
because I have a plastering company.
Okay.
So my
S
bookkeeper,
Corp?
S Corp. So
Okay.
it's they said, hey, you better get something going also with your plastering, with your restaurants as well. So we went into the A&J Food Services, which is Albert and Jessica, and we opened up a corporation for the restaurants. And then, which I recommend
Absolutely.
for everybody.
You have to.
recommend it.
You have to do it.
Make sure you get them.
Even if you're catering, I mean,
I don't care.
the more liability that you can defer.
Exactly.
you have
Now
to
we
do
do
it.
a lot of catering. We do a lot of the taco carts. So if you guys have a party and we do the cook shows up. So
Really?
oh
Really?
yeah.
That's
Those
awesome.
are awesome. I'll send you guys some pictures. We'll put
Rad.
it on the website.
Perfect. Yeah, everything we
and-
talk about will be in the show notes too. So
Yeah.
be sure to check that out.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
how did that come about?
Just demand.
Right.
People would always call me and go, hey, you guys do taco carts, right? I'm like, we don't. And I kept hearing enough that we don't. Well, it became in demand, so we went and bought everything. We've done several tournaments, golf tournaments, and then it started going from golf tournaments with people at the tournament saying, hey, can you come to my house and do these? I'm like, of course we can, So it was basically a spread that, that does everything.
And then did you do catering for pickup at the store before
That as well.
before you did the
That is exactly.
Yeah.
That was how we first
So
started.
you
Wanted
first
to
started-
create catering. How much food do we order for 40 people?
and then the packaging
And the
for-
packaging.
yeah, because
You know,
all
at
that
first,
shit is really
once
important.
again, I don't know how much food to put in.
Right.
So at first, it was a learning experience,
Sure.
and after time, how much food to supply.
How do you keep it warm?
So we got these hot boxes.
Right.
A lot of taco shops, you come in, you pick up a catering order, they give you the aluminum trays, and then you're on your own.
Yeah.
Well, with us, we give you a hot box. The trays go in there. We take them. We don't charge you for the hot box. We expect it to get it the next day for another catering.
Right.
But it literally, everything comes out just as hot as when we cooked it. Goes into a box.
So you actually let them use the Cambro,
the Cambro.
really?
Exactly.
And then you let them bring them back.
Exactly.
Do they sign anything?
Up until this day, No one's stolen one. I hope no one does.
Those fucking things
These
are expensive as shit.
Dude, so
Holy
we had one
shit.
missing. We had one missing. They're $175. And
Yeah.
I'm going,
What the
God.
fu-
So
the
now I
wheel-
got to go
the
to Home
wheels-
Depot
the
and
wheels
mark
are
them
like
1
$100
through
bucks.
10 with a little reflector thing.
Right.
You know, and I go, dude, now I got to start putting an
Inventory 'em,
deposit.
yep.
And it's just, there's so
Yeah, we put our
expensive.
stickers on them. We put numbers on them.
Yeah,
and we do
because
all
what
that
happens
shit.
is that...
But that happens.
It
As you grow as a business, like you have to fucking track your
You gotta-
inventory.
you gotta-
For us,
you gotta-
like
you
we
gotta
had the
protect
same
yourself.
thing. Once we started doing more catering, once we started doing stuff at Valley View Casino Center, it's like, fuck, those Cambros are expensive. The
right.
wheels are $125 just for a
Yeah.
fucking set of wheels.
Yeah, so
And
someone looks it up online. They go, "Oh shit, maybe I'll forget about this one."
Right.
I'll put it on Craigslist and sell it back to me for $50.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know. So so that was in 2007, and then back in 2009, I said I'm ready for another one. And once again, I just ran into this guy. He wanted to sell it. Actually, no, my buddy back again to Wes, helping me out, found this taco shop that was selling for $30,000 in Rancho San Diego.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, and for me, I'm thinking at that time, it seemed like a lot. Now, it's like nothing,
Yeah.
It's like
so,
free.
especially in Rancho San Diego,
Fuck.
30
30
grand.
grand?
So I walked
Good
in
luck
and
getting
talked to the lady.
equipment in there for 30
Oh,
grand.
right.
Shit.
So basically, I walked in and I go, this is bitching. This is nicer than my Lakeside store. I got a lot of things I can do with this place. So same thing. Claudia sold me the place. It used to be Casa Sanchez, right across the street from Valhalla.
Yep.
And then we bought that. And
Set up
then
an escrow.
set up an escrow, the whole thing.
Boom.
She owed a little bit of money to the landlord. We paid it out of escrow. She owed some money to the... So anyways. That was,
And then what did you do with the lease? How did you improve?
a lot.
I
Let me
learned
tell
a
you what,
shitload.
5-year lease, 2 5-year options,
Right.
and as soon as one 5-year option expires, we started the whole thing all over again.
Right.
So there is always 2 5-year options. Even after I finish up one, I renegotiate to always have those 2 options in the back.
Well, there you changed it too, right? Didn't you take over the next? You built the cantina or the?
Yeah,
that's
so-
fucking rad.
Yeah. So what happened there was, so fast forward after Rancho in 2009, then I went and opened up downtown. From downtown, I jumped over and opened up La Mesa. Well, it was literally the day as I'm getting ready to open La Mesa up. So I'm just running around trying to get these things ready to open. And I go back to my Rancho store to get a few things I needed for my La Mesa store. And the insurance lady that came out to me and told me, hey, if I ever give up my spot, I'll let you know if you ever want to expand. And so I go, I can't believe you're asking me this today. Like, I'm so stressed out. I'm just done building La Mesa. You're asking me to open and take over the other spot. And I said, let me think about it. She goes, well, let me know. I need to know by tomorrow. I'm like,
Fuck, of course.
so I took a few things. I went over to La Mesa and I called my wife. I'm like, the insurance lady wants to give up her spot. She goes, well, what do you want to do with it? I go, well, I don't want to put all more seating because I don't think the kitchen can handle it. But what I'd like to do is open up a man cave, know, and that was my thing, a bar.
Yeah.
I always wanted a bar, and I go, why not do it? And then we'll do half seating and then the regular bar. And so I basically told her, I'll take it. So I called the landlord because I had a great relationship with her. And we basically, in a couple days, she said, okay, it's yours. So here I go. Now I'm jumping headfirst into drawing plans and getting permits to build this bar. And so then now that was another shit show for another 3 or 4 months until I
I'm
got
sure.
to-
And then
you had
the
to buy-
ABC was
you had to
probably
buy a
exciting
liquor
too.
license?
Well, we already had a beer and wine. It's sold in beer and wine.
Okay.
You already had one at the location.
Yeah, at the La Mesa, so we just expanded it
Got it.
to that location that was near. So,
Oh, in La Mesa. So La Mesa had the first bar.
La Mesa had a beer and wine license. My Rancho San Diego store, since it was my second one, already had a beer and wine license.
Oh, it did?
We just expanded it. Once you change the dimension of the store, you have
the
to write it
floor
on
plan.
the
Yep,
floor
you
plan.
gotta
You
go
got to
in.
write it down. So that took some time, and then the health company and getting your permits and the
health
county
department,
inspectors
yeah.
and the whole
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
It's kind of a nightmare, but after dealing with La Mesa, I figured, okay, well, I can deal with it again.
Right.
So then after all that, then now, like I said, opening them, guys, are easy.
Yeah.
Remember
Keeping
that.
them open
This
is
is
fucking
key
hard.
to anybody that wants to open up their restaurant. Opening them are a piece of cake.
Yeah.
If I could,
Well, that's
I would-
the dream. I mean, you
Yeah.
work so fucking hard. You have so many ideas. You're going to sleep. You're coming in. You're seeing the progress.
Right.
And you're running this whole fucking marathon.
Right.
And like once you get the doors open, now the race really starts.
Right.
You're
Right.
like, oh fuck, I need to be in business every single day. I need to figure
from
out
open to close.
From open to close. How do I pay? How do I pay my vendors? How do I get people in
Yeah.
here? You're always like, that's when the real fucking thing starts.
Right.
But you feel like you've done so much just to get the goddamn doors open.
Right. And then you got to worry about the employees.
Yes.
Staffing,
and scheduling.
I love every single one of them.
Yes.
You know, I truly respect them, but God darn it, sometimes that is probably half the battle.
Yeah.
You know, calling sick, you know, they ran late, their car broke down, they can't come in, you know, their child can't go, which is all typical.
Yeah.
You know, and at this point, after doing it since 2003, it's almost just the nature of the beast.
Right. Sure.
You know, but to open up a fifth one, my wife will leave me, so then she'll take half. Right? You know, I'll get one kid because the one kid's gonna like me. So, you know, so is it worth opening 5? No, dude. My insanity is.
So right now you're at 4.
I'm at 4.
Until your buddy calls you and tells you there's a shop.
No, trust me.
Wes, stop fucking looking for
I think he did. I think he actually did. You know, so you got to be careful what you wish for too. You know, you want to make this fun, and if it's a passion, you want to make it a passion. You know, there's guys out there, you know, that want to open up 10 and they're probably doing pretty darn good. But unless you really, really have a good person that can help you, a general manager, where if you want to do but then you're going to lose touch. Right. You're not going to be able to be there. You're not going to be able to make sure things are coming out right. So just be careful what you wish for sometimes. Sure. You know, you got to find your stability. You got to find your happy place. You got to spend time with your family. You know, because it'll consume you.
That's so important.
It'll consume you, you know, and then you come home and you have, you know, all these issues that you came up with in one day, and then you got to come home and go, hey, what's up, kid?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just do homework, or just give the wife a big cuss, you know, big kiss, and but I'm blessed that I got an amazing wife, and I got amazing kids, and I got amazing friends, and I got amazing employees. So a lot to be grateful for.
Well, I mean, that's, you know, part of the entrepreneurial journey. When you open up your business, it's not going to be fucking easy.
No,
you know, we're not here to sugarcoat how fucking easy it's going to be, but it's when it's you making the decisions and you're living and dying by the sword.
Right.
Fuck that. There's nothing that's better. I mean, you know, I'll never trade all those sleepless nights and, you know, fucking the depositions and being, you know, getting sued and going through all kinds of crazy shit that, you know, I'm better for it today.
Of course.
But fuck, it was real shitty when it was going down.
Damn,
but like every single day when I wake up, I'm fucking so excited. So excited
and
to
blessed
go to work.
To be in the position that we're
very
in.
Blessed.
Yeah. So because you guys all know that, you know, it took a lot to make that dream come true, to get it to where it's at. And it puts a smile on your face, and it's kind of cool to talk about it, and it's like I said, at the end of the day,
that's the start. Like, you know, it's like how many fucking restaurants since you opened have closed?
Right.
You know, it's like when we start looking at it, you know, restaurants, sports bars, other businesses. I mean, we opened in fucking 2008. You know, 2008 was not a good time to be opening a business in San Diego.
Right. No,
it was a fucking shitty time. You know, it was like, I had friends that were like, are you fucking nuts? Like, you're opening a restaurant and a bar? Like, where? In Spring Valley? Are you fucking nuts? Like, I thought I told you you're already fucking nuts.
Yeah, you're nuts. So
for us,
that's the entrepreneur in us. It's a risk taking.
It's a risk.
You know, and sometimes being slow at first, even though it's scary, it's also a learning time for you to figure out your business.
Sure.
Because as it's slow, it's, you know, it's kind of nerve wracking because you're paying these bills, but at the same time, you can grow into your business and find out what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
And because it's very rare that you can open a business right away, even if you never open one up and you're got a line out the door.
I mean, to be honest with you, the best thing that happened to us is we weren't fucking busy.
Right.
You know, we weren't busy when we opened up. Right. And we had to figure out ways to, you know, be a restaurant that serves steak and fish, and we had this menu that was all over the place.
All over the map, right.
You know, and we just had to really figure out, who are we?
Right.
What are we doing? What are we selling?
Right.
What are our hours of operation? You know, what's our brand? What are we trying to do? And all those things, that didn't fucking happen overnight.
Right.
You know, 10
sure.
years, we're a totally different restaurant
of course.
than we were when we first
opened. You learn from simple, and maybe they weren't a mistake, but you learn from what you want to become. You know, you want to have a branding. What are you really trying to become? So, you know, it's a learning curve.
What
for sure.
Outside? Were there anything that you were reading? Any mentors that you had? Anything that, you know, helped you along that way?
No, I think just owning my own business in the construction business.
Yeah.
You know, I think all businesses are the same.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care if you have a shoe business or a barbecue business or a construction company, or you still gotta give good quality.
Yeah.
You know, you still gotta get good customer service, and you gotta do good work.
Yeah,
so
good product.
you know, so at the same time, I kind of had that on my back and my experience, and from being and coming from nothing. and finally having, you know, a little bit of something and kind of like branching off onto that kind of gave me the momentum. And if I had a bad month, I still had my construction to help me out.
Right.
So that kind of was on my side, that I had something to lean on in case something that wasn't doing well.
Yeah,
But
you had your anchor.
I had my anchor.
Yeah,
in case I didn't want the taco shops anymore.
Right.
Okay, sell them,
Right.
try to get your money back, you know. But there wasn't one time that ever crossed my mind.
I'm sure there's things that you learned running your restaurant that you incorporated into your construction business.
Patience.
Yeah, absolutely. Patience.
You know, that is
for
the
sure.
biggest thing that I can probably say that's happened to me in the last 15 years is just patience and dealing with people, because as you guys know, we get a million different personalities that walk in our door.
Yep.
People
That's what makes it so fucking great.
Yeah, people that didn't eat lunch and they come in
Yeah.
hungry. Now they're grumpy, and you got, you know. Then when they walk out with a smile on their face, that is an instant gratification.
That's what hospitality is.
Exactly,
I mean,
instant gratification.
We're
So-
there for so many more reasons outside of a hungry stomach.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's been cool.
Yeah, and then I know you had a pretty eventful time at the Route 91.
Yeah.
Route 91.
Yeah, so we
that
had
was,
we had WGW on our last podcast, and I mean those are tragedies that happen. That, you know, the sad thing is typically, you know, there'll be this huge media cycle about what happened, and then a lot of it gets lost. But you know, for us in the barbecue world, and you know, for Derek and I, the people that are close to us, you know, we're just so fortunate. We're so fortunate to have a voice, and we're so fortunate to be here and to do the things that we love to do. And, you know, when there's people that, you know, they lost loved ones.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
They
For
lost
sure, yeah.
they lost loved ones at a country concert that
It's
you know,
supposed to be.
it's
You
an
think?
event. I mean,
you think a country concert is the most innocent place you
Right.
can go to?
Yeah.
So much fun.
Everyone's dancing. Everyone's dancing to good music. You have that great vibe going on, and it was a 3-day, you know, a 3-day concert. And I've never had a bad time in Vegas.
Right.
You know, I've been going since I was 21, and I'm 50 now. And
21. You sure? You weren't there before? You were
I don't know,
21.
maybe I was using Derek's ID.
Yeah.
Derek's fake ID.
Derek probably didn't even need a fake ID. He probably looked like he was 35 when he was 11.
Needless to say, I didn't get in too many bars with Derek's ID.
I'm guessing Derek was the guy that was buying beer for the group.
I was.
Yeah. You know, so, you know, that was, you know, we had probably a total of 30 friends that went that weekend.
Have you been out to that festival before? Or
Never.
This was the first
This
time?
was the first one. And the thing is, I invited even guys, a good friend of mine, Corey Bender and Greg Loring, that have never been to a Vegas country
wow.
concert, let alone
Right.
Corey, never been to a country concert ever. You know, so, you know, I just told him, hey, this is going to be a kick in the pants, dude. We're going to have so much fun, you know. And it was, you know, Friday at the pool was great. You know, Saturday, no, actually Friday we didn't go to the pool. Saturday we went to the pool.
So you guys, where'd you stay?
I actually stayed at the Mandalay Bay, and it was room 31-135, which was directly underneath the shooter. Shooter was in room
Jesus.
32-135. And so,
Wow.
you know, but like you know, the FBI called me and said, hey, did you hear anything? I go, dude, the guy could have been banging all over the room and
you're-
dropping luggage, and I mean, the last thing you would ever
You're
thought.
in Las Vegas. I mean,
You know,
fuck
Vegas
it.
guys having a
That's
good
all you
time
do is
upstairs.
hear
Even
stuff.
if he would make a bunch of noise, I said more power to him.
Right, just
Keep-
banging out some chick, you know.
You know,
have no idea what's
keep
going
having a
on.
good time. You know, that would have been my only thought. You know,
Right.
the thought that there is some coward upstairs planning, or even thinking of doing something that just it blows us
Yeah.
away every time we even think about it. You know, so Vegas was a typical weekend. You know, Saturday at the pool, Sunday at the pool, great time. You know, and great dinner, great friends, great laughs. You know, and then you know, fast forward Saturday night. You know, we're at our room at 1:30 in the morning, and we're cranking the stereo. We had a pretty cool suite. You know, that corner, that corner unit, and we get a security comes knocking on our door and basically says, hey, you know, we have guests that are complaining about your noise. Well, I kind of looked outside and I go, well, it's either got to be the guy above us or below us. I mean, I didn't say, you know, because the suite was kind of big
Sure.
for someone
Right.
next.
It's definitely not
and,
us.
And, you know, and then I figured, you know, let me, you know, if it's the upstairs or downstairs, and we figured out it was probably in the master bedroom.
Right.
And they're right above us. Let's just turn the music down in the master bedroom. And it somehow came out where it was, I asked it, was it above us or below us? He goes, hey, it was the guest above us. He didn't say guy, he said the guest above us. Then he asked if we turn it down. I said, no problem. So we went in the master bedroom, turned it down, didn't think anything of it. And most people say, well, security usually doesn't give out what room they're coming out from.
Right.
Well, he did.
Right.
They confirmed it through the FBI. CBS News confirmed it. They went down and looked at the log sheet, and it popped up.
That's
Wow.
what it is.
So that being said, we still didn't think anything of it. 45 minutes later, everyone gets a little bit louder. The music starts turning back up again. Typical.
Right.
And it all takes one guy, probably me, that turns it back up again.
Yeah.
And we were listening to country music.
Sure.
Having a good time. 45 minutes later, go by and goes, "Hey, Mr. Garzon, you got to turn it down." I say, "Okay, I'm sorry. Don't say sorry to the guest, but we'll turn it down. Actually, we'll leave."
Yeah.
Right.
He goes, "The third time, guys, let everyone, all your guests are gonna have to leave, and you and your wife can stay."
Right.
So, needless to say, out of respect, we turned off the music, not thinking twice about it. And then Sunday morning was a typical day again, down at the pool, and then we went to the concert, and I was beat. Like I said,
It's a long weekend.
3 days in Vegas.
give a fuck.
Usually I'm usually sucking my thumb, flying home Sunday morning.
Right.
And they keep me out there till Sunday evening.
Yeah.
With this group of people, forget about it. So
You're not going to the taco shop on Monday.
no, I wasn't. I was sucking my thumb with a blanket
Yeah,
tucked under my
fuck
chin.
all
Trust
that.
me. So Sunday evening comes around, and I was just tired. I was tired, and I actually got an IV bag Saturday down to MGM. There's a cool place, guys. I'm gonna give them a little shout out. Revive downstairs, MGM. They give you the bag.
Get the fuck out of here.
I
They
swear to
give away
God,
IV bags.
$159, best fucking money. You
Best
can
money
get.
I've ever
Wow.
Best money. You go
That's
there.
fucking
You go there
smart.
dragging your knuckles, and you walk out with a beer in your hand. That's
That
how
is-
good you feel.
Wow.
I mean,
That
it's
is
amazing.
smart.
And then you got different packages.
So it's gone from an oxygen bar to an IV.
It's key.
Oh,
It's
fuck.
key. They put you in a little room with a massage room in there. You're sitting there, you get an IV bag, and about 30 minutes later, you're out of there, and you're feeling like $1 million.
Wow.
Well, needless to say, the news made it seem like, I had this intuition that something was going to happen, and I left my wife and my friends, and I was walking back across the street.
No, you were fucking beat.
I was fucking tired.
Yeah.
Up,
Right.
partying, and just
Fucking hungover. I just want to lay down for
So
a minute.
yeah, and so the news made it seem like I was going back to my room. Well, I wasn't going back to my room. I was, but then I stopped. I said, I'm gonna go get another bag of that IV, and then go back to bed. And then that way, at least when I wake up to the airport the next morning, I'm feeling better.
Right.
Yeah.
So I went down and spent 40 minutes in the IV. Got an IV, and then I left there, went over to Nobu, but left my wife and friends behind.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Nobu. Now on the way back to Mandalay, I'm in the cab, and my wife calls. Just screaming, bawling her head off.
So you were not in the room.
Not in the concert. No, nor was I in the room.
So you weren't in the room.
I
when
was in the
shots
room.
were going out.
That's what the media
Yeah,
said.
I mean that's
Like, I was
from the
going
stories
back
that
up and-
like you were actually in the fucking room and the guy is shooting
No,
above you.
no. That's where they always
Oh,
Manipulate
manipulate it to
And they
make it
make
sound a little bit better.
well, either way, your wife called you and there's shots going on.
The shots are being fired now, and all of our friends scattered. So luckily, one of my friends, Brian, grabs my wife and his wife, and they're running, and he grabs on the phone and he goes, "Albert, I got the girls, but we're being shot at." And then as I'm driving in the cab, it pops up on the screen. All cabs stay away from Mandalay Bay. 3 active shooters. Stay away from Mandalay Bay and Las Vegas. And here I'm in the car seeing all this.
Dude.
You got to remember, at this time, I don't think it's that bad.
Right.
I think there's a guy with a 22 pistol at the
Right.
You don't know. You
can't
don't
fucking-
for sure.
fathom.
You don't know the severity of it.
fathom that this is really going on. And you got some guy that's just pissed off in the concert, getting shot, shooting shots out. So when he says, "Hey, we're running, I got the girls," and then he hears shots again, and he puts the girls down, and lays on them, and gets them back up, and they keep running. And once again, all my friends and all 30 of us went. Luckily for everybody, everyone dodged a bullet.
Wow.
And then for me at that point, now my guilt kicks in.
Right.
I should be there with my wife. She needs me. I need her. But how this whole thing plays out, was it a blessing in disguise? Maybe. Would I have grabbed her and ran the wrong way? Would I have been hit? Could she have been hit?
Yeah.
As much as I would have wanted to be there, I can't take that back. And at the end of the day, everyone made the right move. Everyone dodged a bullet, but there's a lot of people that
weren't that
fortunate. That
Or that
fortunate, that saw things that I don't think anybody should see,
Right.
especially on such an innocent night.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I pull up. The guy gets me to the Luxor. I get out. I go running towards the concert, and you just see kind of a wave of people just running out with looks that I've never seen. You can see I've seen one person crying, at one time with their boyfriend or something. But when you got this many people running at you.
You can feel it.
You can feel that something just ain't something. I know something's bad, but once again, you still don't fathom that it's that bad. Even at that point, we heard there was only 2 people dead, which is too many, and several people hurt. So by the time I ran across the street to the Mandalay, so I'm thinking we're all going to try to make our way back to Mandalay because most of my group was staying there.
Right.
So
and
by
you
the time
have no idea the shooter was in Mandalay,
in Mandalay, let alone right fucking above my room.
Exactly.
Never in a million years. I didn't even know that till the next morning. So they got us at the Mandalay Bay. They were evacuating the Mandalay Bay, and I mean at this point, there's cops pulling up everywhere, left and right. They were coming out of everywhere.
What time was this?
This is probably around 10, 15, probably about more like 10:30 now.
Yeah.
And so by 10:30, 10:45, I had never seen so many ambulances, so many police and SWAT cars pulling up and unmarked cars coming out of the woodwork.
Coming from everywhere.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw Pinto
FBI,
cars with freaking lights coming on. You're like, oh, God, what's that thing?
Right.
Never in a million years. So you have all these undercover cops popping up. So in the meantime, my battery's about to go dead, which is making things worse.
Sure.
And then I got a Samsung 8. Nobody has a charger. It's like extinct. It's not even out yet.
Right.
So, but, my wife kept calling me. They're running towards the MGM. We have a friend that's staying at the MGM. And luckily she got into a safe place, and they had like 12 people staying in that room. We got escorted from Mandalay into a bus, and we got shipped over to UNLV. And then from there, I got to stay at the night at the Hard Rock. Or a buddy of mine called me before my phone went dead, saying, "Hey, I know I got a room at Mandalay. I got a room now at the Hard Rock. Why don't you come stay with us?" So I stayed over there. My wife stayed at the MGM. And once again, you got all these emotions. We none of us slept a wink.
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
At least I didn't.
Yeah.
They might have slept a little bit, but I was just having so many emotions going through me at the time, and wondering if
Were you watching the news, or were you watching?
that's the thing.
Your phone
We didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah.
The next morning, when we turned on the news, we realized that I think it was 25 to 30 dead with 300 people, and then we started saw the video. That's I think when it hit all of us.
Yeah.
Because remember when you're running that fast and you're just seeing bodies fall. And like I said to my wife, I go, this is things that you're not supposed to be seeing.
Absolutely
you're
not.
just and you're basically in war.
Yeah.
And at that point, like I said, as I'm pulling up, they're saying that basically Vegas is being under attack.
Yeah.
They're saying there's bomb threats at Luxor.
Sure.
There's shooting across the street. So my instant thought going, dude, we're being attacked from, and it made sense to him. They're thinking, this is making sense. This is happening all over Vegas. And so they're shutting the place down.
Yeah.
So, like I said, at the end of the day, we're very blessed that none of our friends, other than more emotional scars and from falling and hiding and have to, deal with it. I feel bad for all of them.
Yeah.
So the next morning, we finally get allowed to get back in our room. I think it was around 10 o'clock in the morning, and finally saw my wife.
How did they tell you?
We kept calling.
Yeah.
We kept calling, and then on the news, they were saying, everything was Mandalay Bay, the shooter. In the morning, now we found out that even though they said the 32nd floor, we didn't know that they didn't say what room.
Well, yeah.
So we didn't even know.
There's no fucking way he could have been above you.
Exactly. There's no way. The thoughts of that are like slim to none.
Yeah.
So we finally see my wife, and we give her big hugs and kisses, and I thank my friends and thank Brian for just helping my wife out and just being there for her, and you just you're very grateful that you're giving yourself a hug, because I know at that moment there's a lot of people in Vegas that are unfortunate as that we were, that they're coming back to no wife, no son, or no daughter, or no best friend,
or they're in the hospital.
And they're in the hospital. Now they're packing their bags, and it's just I can't imagine what those people went through. So when we got back to the room, you got to remember, we can see exactly what the shooter was seeing. We got pictures of the day before. You can see everybody having a blast. The country, the concert starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and runs till 10:30. So we got pictures of the concert and everyone out there having a good time. And then to come back to the room the next day and just see it was just so weird.
Crime scene.
It was a crime scene. There was still, unfortunately,
not even a crime. It was a war scene.
It was a war scene. There were still dead bodies on the
terrible
field that they were investigating, because now it's a crime scene, and they had to stay there for quite a few hours to make sure that the bullets lined up and the casings. And so, and just to see that in lawn chairs, and you can just see, you can only imagine.
How many different personnel were there? Paramedics,
Everything.
Firefighters,
ATF,
police,
FBI, media. It was pretty gnarly. And then as we're seeing that, my wife and I are just staring at this and just cannot believe we see something above our head flapping. And we go, what the heck was that?
Yeah.
So we look up and we see the curtain flapping in the wind where he had broken out. And it was pretty gnarly. The crazy thing was people thought the shooting was coming from our room. Everyone says coming from the 135. And then when they got there, they realized it was from one floor up. And when they went up the stairwell is when they found out it was actually from 32, 135.
That's insane. When did you kind of put it together that he was the one that...
right then.
Yeah.
Right then and then, I just went, oh my God, this all makes sense now. Right. I'm not sure if he wanted to... all these different things you think about. Did he call the security twice to maybe find out how long was it going to take security to get up there? Did he try to figure it out? I don't know. Did he do it just because he wanted to try to get a good night's sleep? I don't know any lunatic that tries to get a good night's sleep before he's about to create, the biggest mass murder and mass shooting here in U.S. history. So I don't know, man. And then you hear all the conspiracies. I don't know what to believe. I think everyone is so. There's so many things that they say that make sense, and then you go, no way.
Yeah, there's a lot of those, and you have to sometimes take a step back and just, it's not about that.
It's not.
It's not. And when people start to really, and they get so fucking crazy about it, they're like, well, it couldn't have been this and this and that. I'm like, look, there's a lot of people that died.
Right.
Let's focus on helping their families, consoling them, doing everything that we can do.
Right.
Let's not worry about the fucking conspiracy right now.
This isn't the time. It is not the time.
Let's, this is what they do. This is what the FBI is going to do. And guess what? You're not going to fucking know about it for a long time. They're going to be doing, if ever. They're going to be doing so much. I mean, and don't kid yourself. Fucking Mandalay Bay's got a lot of cameras. You know what I mean?
That's what I say.
So even though nothing's coming out yet, something's going to come out.
Right.
Let's let them do their job.
Right.
And not fucking jump to these conclusions.
Of course.
And people are saying, well, I know that this, like, you don't know shit. You don't know shit.
You know shit. You weren't really there.
What we know is that there's people dead. And what we have to do is do everything we can do to help their families, to not let their names die in vain, and just try to do everything we can to help and not worry about the micro thing about what happened that night.
Right.
And I get pretty frustrated about some of those some things. Like it's just not
the right place. Right.
Not important
exactly.
right now.
But we all want to know, I mean, can this one guy have done this?
It's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe, but he did it.
Yeah.
He did it.
And so at the end of the day, like I said, you're right, Derek. There's a lot of people that are still suffering, that still can't go to work, that are having constant dreams. My wife's one of them. She's not doing, she's getting better every day, but she has her days, that things aren't always 100%, and all I can do is just be a husband, and like I said, we have great kids that and we all love her, and like I said, no one wanted this to happen. At this point, you just gotta, pray for the best and like I said, and be blessed.
Yeah.
I tell her that it could have been way worse. There's a lot of people that are, I can't imagine, 100 times off, 1,000 times off, 1,000,000 times off that are I can't fathom to be in the shoes that they're in. So.
And sometimes it allows you to realize how insignificant we are, and just to hold your wife a little tighter and just, really
be present
in
today,
exactly, and worry about what we can do right now, and just to be better people, and it puts things in that perspective where it's just like, man, we got to be better people. We have to, and people get so fucking caught up about this left and right and bullshit. It's like, worry about yourself. Look at yourself in the fucking mirror and just know that you're a good person. If you're a good person, we're on the right track.
Get up.
Continue being a good person. Continue doing positive things. Don't worry about what everyone else is fucking doing. You be a good person. Don't be on the fucking keyboards talking shit about this, and that. Stop that shit. Look at yourself in the mirror and know that today you're going to be a good person. And if everyone can do that,
this country would be a lot better. I think the country, if people just went off and did their thing and go to work and didn't expect anything from the government and do all that. Let's just go to work. Get your up. No one gave me anything. No one gave you anything, and no one gave us anything. No president gave me what I got to do. I know that I don't care who's in office. I got to get up and work my ass off and get up and pay my bills because I'm not expecting it from anybody else.
Well, everyone gets so caught up, and I've talked to Sean about this before. It's like, look, it really doesn't fucking matter that much. As much as you think it's like this big thing, and look, I know Trump's being fucking crazy and doing his thing, but it really doesn't affect you financially too
Today,
much. Just
right,
get up and
right.
fucking work. Be a
Exactly.
good person.
Good
Like I just keep saying,
Yeah.
just worry about yourself.
Exactly.
Love the person. It doesn't matter if they're fucking black, white, whatever. Like,
Right.
love people.
Right.
Be positive.
Right.
Go to work. Strap your fucking boots on and work hard. And guess what?
Exactly.
Good things will
Doors
happen.
will open.
Because
pay your bill.
that luck that you're creating, you create your own fucking luck.
Luck, exactly.
Create your own luck.
Exactly.
Work hard. Love
Exactly.
people. Be positive.
Well, I think one of the things, we talk about a lot is this podcast has forced us to really embrace what barbecue teaches and what the things that Gene has taught us and Arlie and Randy Gill, and that's how can we be helpful today. And it's not about Sean, and it's not about Derek, and it's not about Cali Comfort or Valley Farm. It's about what can we do to help.
Right.
And like, you'd be surprised once you start focusing, and not just with your customers, not just with your staff, but just listening to your friends,
Right.
and like your friend helped you jump off the cliff and open up your business.
Right.
But your business now is able to provide jobs, provide, a community place for people to come, bring their kids.
Right.
You're supporting, youth sports, youth
a
athletics.
place where I can
something
get my
that
diet food.
help Derek, help Derek lose weight.
I'm gonna get you where you want to.
But I mean, those are the things that it's so easy for us to do it, yet it's so hard for us to do at the same time because
Right.
we're so wrapped up in our own shit. And if we can just sit there and find out, when you're talking to the next person you talk to, just ask them how you can be helpful.
Right.
And hopefully they open up, because you never know. You might have a piece of advice that might save them from getting into a 3-year deal where they get fucking kicked
man.
out.
Well, I mean,
That's
think
key.
about what do good leaders do? They serve people and they fucking inspire people.
Exactly.
Those are two big things that people don't understand. Like, a leader is not this person that just fucking tells everyone what to do.
Right.
It's how can I serve you? How can I make you a better person? What can I
right.
do? And how can I inspire you to do that? It's
Right.
not about me.
Right.
It's about you. It's
Right.
about, that's what true leaders do.
Of course.
We have to just make sure that we hold ourselves accountable to that.
Right.
And
Exactly.
continue to do that.
And being a good boss, something, I think it helps. I'm not the kind of guy that comes to work and pretends I'm the boss. I want to make people laugh, but we have to be our boss when we have to be a boss. It seems something ain't right.
Yeah.
We have to do it, and teach your employees. But at the same time, I think if anybody owns a business, it's not about being the boss. It's about being a team leader.
Yeah.
You got to teach your employees how to do things your way, or they might have a better way.
Right.
I'm not saying I know everything about the restaurant business, but and I'm always about delegating too. Find people that are better than you and
You
smarter.
have to.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We
'cause
talk about that all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
if I'm the best, smartest person in my fucking whole staff, something's wrong.
Exactly.
I gotta have someone that's better than me, the AR and APs.
Right.
I'm not that fucking person.
Exactly.
Abby, I mean, Abby is my girl. I love
Right,
her to death.
right.
And she fucking rocks.
Right.
And I need her.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she's better than me at that.
Right. Exactly. I got a secretary named Teresa. God, I mean, she's funnier than shit, and she knows how to handle shit that I can't.
Right.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking about, and then my cooks, and my cashiers. And you start delegating certain things, and if they do it wrong, then you teach them to do it better.
Right.
But you delegate the things that you don't want, and in time you'll figure out your business will get better and stronger because of people that you have underneath you.
Yeah.
Because if you try to do it all yourself, it
gonna
gets
work
kind of
out.
overwhelming.
Well, it's also important to always be learning and always enable people to continue to go along that path, whatever that path might be. Because
Right.
especially in the hospitality business, people come in from all different walks of life, and whether they're doing it as a second job, whether they're doing it as a third job, which some of the best people do.
Right.
You just have to be able to inspire them to want to continue their education, no matter
Right.
what that education is. And
Right.
for Derek and I, we are always trying to learn how to be better,
Right.
better leaders, better. I mean, we look at it as coaches. I mean,
Right.
we're literally every single day, not only are we coaching our staff and our teams, but, we need to coach each other and inspire each other. Him getting healthy makes me understand that, hey, like, that's just my competitive nature, but it's also, hey, for, my family, for my wife and my son, like, I need to be a better man.
Right,
And how
for
do I
sure.
be a better man? I surround myself with people that are going to call me out on my bullshit.
Right.
And tell me, hey, you said you were going to fucking work out. You didn't work out. You said you were going to play basketball. You didn't fucking play basketball. What's wrong
Right.
with you?
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Greg, about last night. Not sure.
Hey, when I do that to you,
Yeah.
So on social media, who runs your guys' social?
I got a guy named Albert Garcia.
Okay.
He's up north. Great kid. does a bunch of work like with Jeremy McGrath.
Yeah.
And so I met him with Jeremy, and he kind of like knew a lot. I just, saw how he was doing his social media, and kind of wanted to surround myself, because I'm horrible at it.
Right.
And the kid was so young. He's probably 21 years old, but he just knows the pictures, and he's so computer savvy, and they know what the kind of content.
Sure.
So that helps me out a lot.
Absolutely.
Those are the things that I don't have time for.
Well, I mean, it's also going to continue to give you a competitive advantage that other taco shops and other restaurants aren't
the
doing.
behind the scenes shit like this.
That's him doing.
Fucking people love that.
Yeah,
shit.
that's him, Albert, right there recording it, and we're on our Facebook right now, and Albert, comes in and edits it, and
we're huge on Facebook video.
Yeah,
Facebook
and people
video,
are
Instagram video,
making the carne asada fries right there, and kind of gives the customer an aspect of how we actually really do it.
You know what I was really excited when I saw yesterday? You guys fucking shucking your own avocados. Like you're getting true avocados.
Yeah.
When people want to buy this pulp shit in a fucking bag.
No.
Never.
No.
Like, I can't.
Because they got to put an acid in it.
Yeah.
To
It's not the same.
And you got to remember, how long is that thing been in the bag?
Right.
And who was staring at that bag when it was open? So you don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't know. And it's coming from God knows where. So, it's just kind of cool how they.
So right now, what are the plans for the future? What are you
Right now,
Four.
Four.
Yeah,
Is
four.
is my.
Jessica's like, fuck
I
that.
play lottery.
Four.
My first number is 4. So.
Yeah. There you go.
So, it's just I'm happy at 4.
Right.
I'm in a good place. I can spend quality time still with my family.
How about the catering side of it?
Catering's awesome. The catering's like super easy. I got this employee of mine who runs my downtown store, and he does an amazing job. I taught him what I wanted to do. I wanted him. He just made a really small catering for me, and I wanted
Catering form?
No, for me.
Oh, okay.
He actually made me.
I got you.
So I pretend you're doing a catering, but for 10 people, and it could be 100 people. But let's just do it for 10. Let's see what your layout's going to look, and I'm curious to see what it's going to look like. He did his thing. We went out and bought a few more things, and we wanted to do it a little bit different than other places. So, once again, you're dealing with a great cook. He's very friendly. He does an awesome job. We've probably done a couple hundred of them, and we've never let anyone down. And it's kind of cool. He shows up, he lays everything up, he cooks the meats there, and everything from the lemonade to the plates to the cups, the forks, the carne asada, the pollo, quesadillas, cilantro, onions, guacamoles, Mexican salsas, chips, corn tortillas, and he basically serves it all up.
And how is the customer putting in a order with you?
They'll basically call me. I do, believe it or not, I do all the catering. Why? It'll be one of the things I could delegate, but if one of my employees messes up one catering order, you got 100 people.
Yeah.
They're going to be upset with you.
It's the hardest.
That's one thing. I mean, that's my biggest fear of me forgetting a catering order, because
It's huge.
if it's for your birthday party, going, Albert wants to cater for 100 people, and I don't show up, and then I messed up.
Or it's a wedding rehearsal dinner, or it's a,
but if I messed up one burrito at my shop, it's still bad.
Yeah.
But I'm a lot more freaked out if I don't show up for 100 people.
Yeah.
And it's not something you can set up in a few minutes and get it set up. So I deal with it. Why? Because I'll assume that
I'm
responsibility.
the exact same way as you. I do all my caterings, and I sit them in this office right here.
Right.
And I don't say, here's a menu. I say, tell me your vision. Because I'm fortunate where here I can do anything. I can do, if you want a taco bar, I can do that. If you want ribeyes, aloha beef, Hawaiian, whatever you want, I can make it happen. So we sit down, know exactly what they want, and then I get my people in, we talk about it. This is exactly how we have to do it, and then go do it. And that way, like you said, not that I'm okay with messing up one order, but I can't mess up 100.
No,
I can't do the 100, man.
No.
I really want to.
Even if it's 20 or 30, because then they're leaving, talking about it to their other 30 friends, and then it's just kind of a domino effect.
I'm fucking stoked. I didn't know you guys did that.
No, we love it.
We're gonna.
I'll forward you some pictures, and I'll get Albert to put it on the actual on the Instagram and on our. It's actually on Instagram, and we'll put it on our Facebook account.
So when are you going to get to the point where you're not taking the order? That's why I pushed Derek.
That would be the day in case
I
want to mess up. So it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while until I can give up that part.
I'm okay doing that as long as my catering manager, who I have right now, Chris, who does a great job, is in these meetings with me long enough. So if we go through a few years, if I'm doing it and he knows exactly what I expect, then I'll feel comfortable. Like, okay, you can do this one.
It's getting better.
Yeah.
I have delegated a little bit to
Do you
him.
have a menu?
No, it's
so they can
basically
order whatever they want.
and they can call me and we can custom make it. But at 99% of the time, it's basically the same thing. They want the carne asada, street tacos, the pollo, the rice, the beans, and the whole layout. So, and that's what people go. If they want a different for like weddings and stuff, and fish or enchiladas and stuff, we can do all that as well. But it's the customers, whatever they want. It's not what I want.
Yeah.
It's what we sell the most, and they, like I said, 99% of the time they go with what's more commonly ordered.
Yeah.
So,
Well, cool, man. That's fucking exciting. It's exciting to see how well you've expanded and how well the company is going. I mean,
thank you.
Just going from the one in Rancho San Diego, I just know the quality and to see the difference. You don't want to shit on any other taco shops, but it's just the quality of what you guys do is just phenomenal. And I
that's
love this.
Yeah, that's one of the things we talk about. It's not us as a barbecue restaurant or as a butcher shop. It's, if we're doing something that's quality and it's bringing up the quality of barbecue in San Diego, so we can go and take pride in the fact that Coop's West Texas Barbecue is doing just a fantastic job. We all make ourselves better. So if you're doing a great job with your food and the other taco shops, they see that, then maybe they're going to up their game. And, that makes the industry actually better.
Of course.
And those things it's really important for the consumer at the end of the day, because then they're going to get better fucking food.
Right.
So how do we get a hold of you? What's
best way to get a hold of me is on my website. It's albertsmexicanfood.com. There's a link you can click on contact me. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me.
cool?
And then you can leave me an email, and I personally will get back to you.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, we can't thank you enough for coming in.
Well, thanks for having me.
And guys, everyone listening, send us some feedback. Send us
please subscribe on
subscribe,
iTunes. That
and
means a lot. Just hit that subscribe button and write us a review. Anything that we can do to help you in your barbecue journey, your business journey, whatever that might be. I mean, we've got, we're fortunate to have people like Albert come into our lives and share their stories and their struggles. And, if there's a question you have about taco shops or advice, please reach out, because we've done it, and we have those scars, and we'd much rather help you along your journey than have to personally go through it.
Right. No, trust me. I have a lot of friends that call and say, "Hey, do you want to do a taco shop?" I say, "Hey, let's sit down.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it."
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So there's no difference out there. If somebody out there wants to talk about it, you just send me an email. We'll talk for half an hour. We can meet at one of the shops, and you can pick my brain apart, or I can pick yours. And like I said, I don't mind the competition. Just don't open across the street from me. Open up down the street. Wow.
Well, cool. If anyone's in town November 5th, make sure you make it out to the Spring Valley Barbecue Festival. We will be there rocking.
We will be there rocking is right.
Dude.
It's going to be rad.
We're not going to sleep again.
It's going to be rad. It's going to be rad.
Excited.
We're going to have fun. There's going to be some great barbecue out there. Great barbecue, great desserts.
Tons of teams.
We've got some great bands. We got Tony's coming out on the mic.
Flying him out.
Flying
Tony out to do this MC stuff. So make sure you guys make it. Albert, thank you so much for coming out. We appreciate you sharing everything.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.